Authentic Russian Ural sidecar motorcycles.
Hello, I'm Bob Jaron, President of Ural America Incorporated. It's our pleasure in this video to introduce you to the Ural motorcycle. I'm sure you're going to be impressed with what this rugged machine can do. I think you'll also be impressed with the factory in western Siberia that has been manufacturing the Ural motorcycle for over 50 years. You should have a copy of our news release, our fact sheet, and a log of the video. If you don't, feel free to call us at 1-800-832-2845 and we'll get you one. In the first section of our homespun video, we show you one of the first 6 motorcycles that is coming over to the U.S. in late spring for EPA DOT testing. 4 of these 6 will be used for exhibits and displays at various motorcycle events throughout the country during the summer and fall of this year. This is followed by some shots of the employees' parking lot during shift change and my introductory ride in the Ural Sidecar in the snows of western Siberia in February.
А? Которая? А что они такие странные? Мы ее заменим. Это так, время. Step back just a little bit if you would.
Okay.
You want to get started?
Oh, we'll get him started. Well, there's no windshield yet installed. Let's see how it runs. This is a sidecar unit. There's our first Night Rider.
Here we go.
Yeah. Wow. Get out of the
All
way.
systems go.
Yeah.
Next destination, Seattle, Washington.
Yeah. Goody.
Kick switch.
Okay. So these are the motorcycles of the first shift, and the second shift has been rolling in here, bike after bike.
Don't forget the new temperature, which is right here.
So an old BMW, and do you know what year it is? Approximately?
Yeah, about 45 maybe.
Yeah.
Just a trophy motorcycle.
SA.
His father brought it from Germany in 1945 when they came back from
Okay.
the war. Yeah. Here's the most here. And you are able to cross.
It looks pretty good. So here's the rest of the parking lot, and the second shift is continuing to stream in.
The horse gear is very comfortable when you are fighting.
Yes. So we're in the middle of winter and it's approximately 10 degrees Fahrenheit here. And these guys have all ridden their motorcycles to work. It is absolutely unbelievable.
It is a special winter starting for
About 10 kicks to prime it. Hey, okay. And we have coming up here with the white hat and the fur coat, a lady driver. Not there, but... All right. Yes.
Bob inside.
Okay.
How do you feel?
Here we go.
So the driver is the driver of general director of the Ural motorcycle factory, Mr. Volozhanin, and his own personal driver of the Volga car, but also he owns this beautiful black Ural motorcycle, and well, he got a pretty good possibility of getting the best one from the factory as he drives the director himself. There we go.
All right. That's good.
Yeah. The river is here. There's the river here.
Okay. That's right.
At least.
Hello, my name is Tom Leinott. I'm the chairman of Ural America. I'd like to introduce this next section of the video, which covers a little bit of the trip that I just got back from in April of 1993. You're going to see some amazing video of the Ural motorcycle sidecar rig. First, I'm riding it down the highway. I'd never driven a sidecar rig before, but as you'll see, it's very simple. Then you're going to see us dive into the Siberian woods, a lot of birch trees, and we have a lot of fun slogging through the snow in the Siberian woods. You're even going to see a section where a car gets stuck in the very same section that we had just previously been. Swampy, boggy area that I couldn't believe we were going to head into, where we go through some fairly deep water and mud and introduce our young lawyer who runs our Moscow office to the thrills and chills of being in the sidecar when Tom Leinot is running the motorcycle. It's really a very impressive unit. The off-road capabilities of the Ural are very impressive. It's a very rugged machine, and I think you're going to enjoy this section.
Okay.
А левее еще можно? Еще левее.
Скажи ему, что мы сняли спидометр, на котором были показания 90 и 100 километров в час. Four-wheeler now.
Let's see now. Here we go. It's optimistic. Woo! They got it. If it won't fall. Yeah, well, nothing interesting more.
Правильно, окей, окей. Я снимаю его на максимуме. Пускай, проверяй. О, пускай, поводи. Вот это, отлично, о.
Хоть он и бывший директор завода, но...
Пускай.
Well, as you can see from that last segment, Dennis definitely got wet, and we had to censor out a little portion of that video to make sure this was viewable by all of our younger viewers. The next section we're going to take you in is a complete review of the factory in Urbit, which is in western Siberia. Show you a brief section of the engineering and design sections of the company. There's over 9,000 employees in a very impressive factory. We're then going to go through and show the sections right from the initial forging, casting, where the factory makes all of the parts that are used in the assembly of the motorcycle, with the exception of just a few. Probably one of the most vertically integrated large manufacturing plants that I've ever seen, and Bob as well. We're going to go through all of the sections of the factory, and please refer to your log if you'd rather skip through some of this. Then we'll go into the final assembly, and then into the shipping section that shows where the motorcycles are put onto the rail cars and or the containers. We hope you enjoy this next section.
Design that was made at the factory here, military model. And we'll take a little pan of this area of the plant. This is the Volga that's been transporting us around. And we complete the circle.
All right. "50 years to the Urbit motorcycle factory, 1941-1991. New materials used in the construction of the
These are
motorcycle.
castings for metal pieces.
Ceramics, plastics.
This is the engineering building, right? Design and Engineering. Urual.
Urual. It's 10 on the other side of this car. There's two
Get this here
lines.
too. This guy with the...
This is the piston which is used now in the expert models.
And then this would be the current domestic piston, this one here?
Какой?
The flat one. Yeah.
And the first one is the current domestic motorcycle piston.
Interesting, all the different attempts, different shapes, huh?
Here we are in the at the двигательной laboratory and the engine testing laboratory.
Endurance testing.
This is the chief of the laboratory.
Тоже большой специалист, много работал за рубежом. В нескольких странах. В Австралии, в Египте.
This is the vibration testing.
See what breaks.
Brakes.
Включайте.
Okay.
Now you're gonna show how does it operate.
Если есть желание посмотреть.
Так он заревет.
Здесь мы испытываем.
Here we go. You can see the display. It's the display which shows the
Вот у нас электронный счетчик тоже.
12.6 meters before the stop.
Электронный счетчик. Это мы там проверяем тормоза.
What speed were they running?
Какая скорость? Какая скорость была?
34 километра в час.
Сколько?
34 километра.
So there were 12.6 meters during 34 kilometers per hour. Well, it seems like I screwed up, and the previous laboratory wasn't the engine testing laboratory because this is the one.
This is the engine testing laboratory where they run the engine to destruction under extreme loads. And under extreme loads it runs for 40 hours, which is equivalent to 40,000 kilometers. We also test for emissions.
Brand new motorcycles that have just come off the assembly line and have gone through that testing. A parade of brand new Urals. Various of the components are cast and machined. For example, here we have the hubs. evidenced by a pretty good looking overhead crane system. Fella here is the factory foreman of this section. Every camshaft is measured. We have 100% quality control. Assembly area. This is the anodizing area. And this is the internal transportation. And these are some of the parts that have come out.
up on this and shoot all the way down.
There's the finished product.
comes on out the door. So here's where the engine production starts by milling the casing. Okay. The main case, huh?
Yeah. You can see that. This is pre-assembly operations. Pre-assembly operations. And after that operations, people put the engine onto the conveyor where the total assembly proceeds.
So we're scanning some of the engine assembly area. Sub-assembly going together here.
The assembly requires, this is electronic ignition system, one of the components of the electronic ignition system, sensor.
So the cylinder sub-assemblies are being staged here. What a typical laborer here makes, and in December it was 12,000 rubles, but now you're saying next month it'll go to about 25,000 rubles, and next month the exchange rate may be about, say, 700, so that'd be about $30 or so a month. So in dollars it's going up also. You say if necessary you have the capacity to speed it up some. This is in 2 shifts. Yes, understand. The carburetors are made in St. Petersburg, and they've used this model for about 5 years on the production. The export model uses the same basic carburetor with some internal. Engines that have just come off the production line and running for the first time for about 25 minutes under normal load. And every engine is run. So first the engine is run under load but no ignition, but making good pressure.
Yeah, and then under the real test conditions with the ignition, with the gas and all that stuff things.
And then it's run for how long under real test conditions with gas and ignition?
For 25 minutes.
35?
25 minutes.
25 minutes, okay. Let's see if we can find one that's running that way. So here's one running for the first time with what kind of load? It's initially a very light load and then it increases. So they run through a cycle of loading. Just explained that this is a group of export engines, and they get special treatment. They get specially sanded cases and a number of other parts that I think we'll talk about later. But they set up to run a batch of export engines through the line, such as this batch right here. So this is the beginning of the frame assembly line. The beginning of final assembly, really, right here. So the young man we just saw is training from the professional school. Okay. Well, it's taking shape by this point. another completed one comes off the line. So Dennis, do you want that one? Yeah. That's the one you want, huh? So this is the final quality control area. So does he put it through all of the functions then, checking the lights and the horn?
Yeah, everything.
And
Ignition, lights, engine running, gear change.
and if he finds something wrong, it goes into that little area we saw, huh? motorcycles. I just think that's great. So here's where the parade is being broken up, and these are going in line to get on the rail car. And it's just been explained to me that they could sell all of these right now, and the major problem they have right now is there's a shortage of rail cars. We've just seen some highlights of the very well-managed Ural motorcycle factory that's producing over 600 motorcycles a day. Russian government officials have confirmed our observation that this is one of the most successful in the entire Ural industrial region. In fact, when it was recently privatized, the management, employees, friends, and suppliers were so excited about owning part of the factory that they bid the stock price up over 7 times the original offering price. We can now see the impact of this employee ownership by the dedication and intensity to efficiently produce a quality product. In the final part of the video, we'll give you an overview of the 2 company museums that I think at least most of you will find quite interesting. And this is followed by a brief signing ceremony where Tom and I and Nikolai Voloshanin, the general director, sign our exclusive marketing agreement with the company. We conclude with a return to the highlights of the off-road sequence that our young Russian attorney is so fond of. Tom and I hope you've enjoyed this video memo. We'd like to hear from you and get your comments and questions. Please call us at 1-800-832-2845. History of the Urbit plant. And go ahead, Dennis, and give me the highlights then of what we see.
So, during the wartime in the October 1941, because the Germans were coming close to Moscow, the Moscow motorcycle plant was evacuated through Sverdlovsk to Urbit. And on its base, it was organized this Urbit motorcycle factory, and actually it was placed to the buildings of the former brewery.
All right. Now, do we keep going? Is this chronological?
Yeah.
In order? Okay, go ahead. Now,
It was set. This was the picture of brewery, and here are the buildings where they were first placed, the first lines.
okay.
And this is some pictures during the wartime. So how did it look during the 40s?
Okay. And I'm going to scan across here and then come back down and look at the cases. Oh,
Yeah.
this is great. Yeah, this is quite a machine. What year is this one then?
Какого года это? 1944.
44. Can I sit on it?
Можно на него сесть.
Great. All right, yes, I'm ready to go to war. Well, this is great. And this machine is brand new, 4 kilometers. 4 kilometers on it. Maybe I'll switch. Because we just got a headlamp for an older model for Wallace Brooks. Well, go ahead, Dennis, and take the shot then with the other camera.
Yeah.
And, aha! Okay.
Don't shoot me!
So, as we proceed along this wall, there are more pictures from the war.
First, they were not doing sidecars at this point.
So you said first they weren't producing
They weren't
sidecars
producing
here.
sidecars here, so they were shipping singles, and the sidecars were produced in Gorky, now named Nizhny Novgorod.
А на фронте они уже там воевали, уже с коляской. Фотография, она увеличенная, страшно. Тяжелый.
he's going to shoot me. Uh-oh.
У него не было бронированных частей, он весь был покрашен.
Here we have pictures of some of the famous Russian motorcycle racers. We have here the lady that manages the museum. Dennis?
Yep.
We should have his name again, Dennis, is
Is Gennady Motov.
who is now the curator of the museum, who we saw the other
Yeah, and
day.
he's been 4 times the champion of the USSR.
And we have here some posters of the different models, different years, advertising material. Millionth motorcycle with 6 kilometers on it. And when was this one made?
Когда он был сделан?
Approximately.
Приблизительно.
Finding out from the nameplate. Watch out. 85. 1985. They hit 2 million. Okay.
Ah, there is over there you can see 22nd of November 1985.
Aha. Well, this looks pretty good. We'll take it. We're looking at the M72.
It is our first product, which was in production starting in 1941.
1941. So let me take a few close-ups of it. Okay, we're looking head on, and go ahead with what else he had to say about it. Dennis, I'll just take a couple pictures of this because this one is quite important to us. This is great.
Conditions.
Arctic conditions, and
To be designed for Arctic conditions. There is oil heater and air heater for the driver.
what year was this one made?
В каком году?
Это был год 82.
It was 82.
Great.
Мотоциклы экспортировались в 1972 году в
These,
90
mo-
штук.
these motorcycles were exported to the United States of America in 1972, 30 pieces per year.
30 pieces per year in 1972.
Yes, in 1972.
Мощность этого мотоцикла двигателя порядка 40 лошадиных сил.
And the engine has about 40 horsepower,
Uh-huh.
and the speed is
Скорость 167 км в час.
170 kilometers per hour.
Oh, and roughly how many got sent to the United States?
И сколько всего примерно было послано в Соединенные Штаты Америки?
Порядка 100 штук.
About 100 pieces.
Okay, well, we're going to have to find out where those owners are now.
Сейчас надо найти, где их владельцы.
Не знаю, говорят, с Австралии пришли эти бумаги, в которых, значит, 30 человек там получили травму на наших. А где эти мотоциклы?
And next to it, just an Australian model which was prepared for export to Australia.
Okay, well, why don't we move down the line? I'll just keep it going.
Продолжай, продолжай. Да, продолжай.
Yes.
Это мотоцикл М62М, который находится у нас, начиная с 1952 года, на испытании был, а в 1961 году был выпущен в серийное производство.
This M72, I'm sorry, M62 model, which was in production starting in 1961.
Здесь полностью сделана реконструкция завода двигателя.
The
Здесь
engine was
верхний клапанный двигатель.
quite modernized, and the engine has overhead valve. Yeah.
Has what?
Overhead valve.
Okay.
And the power is about 36 horsepower.
Мотоцикл, который мы после М72 продавали в народное хозяйство.
It is our first civilian motorcycle after we have stopped production motorcycles for militaries.
Ah, and what year?
Какой год?
Это 54 год.
It is 1954 product. Here we are.
Okay, this again was the first civilian Ural, and you started production, you said, in 1954. And tell us a little bit about the engine. This looks like the side valve. Side valve engine, I believe. And the displacement? 750. And this is the one then that the tooling was sent to China?
Yeah, just the same.
Da. I see.
It's quite a nigga
What
motorcycle.
have we got here, Nikolai?
Этот мотоцикл приготовлен для ралли по Вьетнаму «Мандариновая дорога».
Prepared for the rally which was supposed to be held in Vietnam.
Uh-huh.
Мотоцикл
The
специально
number is
обкатан. Степень сжатия здесь
It was
9,5.
specially braved here for this rally, and the compression ratio is 9.5.
Здесь много хромированных
There's a lot
деталей.
of chrome details here.
Дополнительная емкость для
An
бензина.
additional can for petrol. For gas.
Yes.
Новая система выпуска газа, новый глушитель.
New exhaust system.
exhaust pipes.
Oh, lift it up, yeah. Swept, we call that swept up. Okay.
Уровень шума даже меньше, чем на серийном мотоцикле.
84 децибела, да?
На этом мотоцикле.
And this model is
Руки водителя защищены
Little protectors for the hands.
yeah, hands.
Uh-huh.
And noise level is very
ветровой
low.
щиток
Wait,
для защиты
Okay, a
водителя,
swept up
что
windscreen.
потоки воздуха обтекают водителя.
Yes, to make a nice air bubble.
this windscreen has better aerodynamics.
Огни.
So
Это
it's
для противотуманные фары.
Anti-fog.
Anti-fog lights. Well, now, how many of these got made?
сколько таких было сделано?
Два мотоцикла.
We have prepared two motorcycles
Один.
in the rally.
Один отправлен сейчас на мотосалон.
One to show in Amsterdam right now.
Один оставлен здесь как образец.
And one stays here just like a sample.
Мотоцикл
Alright.
рабочий,
It is quite operative,
обкатанный полностью.
run totally.
Скорость на нем развивалась, даже несмотря на все щитки, с коляску, 120 км в час.
And though the aerodynamics of the motorcycle is not very high, the motorcycle achieved about 120 km per hour.
All right.
Бензин с октановым числом не меньше 93.
The motorcycle consumes the gas with 93 octane number.
1958 год выступал в чемпионате Европы. Наши спортсмены неплохо на нем выступали. Десятки сильнейших находились.
This motorcycle was specially prepared for European motocross competitions, and it was done in 1973.
Okay.
Our people took part in various competitions, and they were in top 10.
Он вам показывал коллекцию свою, которую собрал.
Yeah. Well, this mister was the Immuniton's team partner, and
Okay.
he was riding in the same team and, well, fighting for the same.
And
purpose.
this is typical of the ones that were ridden in that period.
This motorcycle
That's
is
great.
typical for that period.
Эти мотоциклы до 1978 года на чемпионате Европы представлялись.
This motorcycle took
До тех пор,
part in
пока
the European
контактные люди
champion
сняли.
championships till 1978. Then they were succeeded by two-stroke engines.
Потом появились двухтактные двигатели.
Двигатель здесь 1000 кубиков.
Да.
Here is 1000
This is
cc.
1000 cc four-stroke engines,
Ага.
and two strokes are much lighter.
Okay, this one you say was
Мотоцикл 67 года выпуска предназначен для соревнований по 60 году.
67-year product. The motorcycle is specially prepared for road racing.
mhm.
Имеет мощность двигателя, значит,
Obviously pavement.
48 лошадиных сил.
The engine has 48 horsepower,
Mhm.
Да, и значит, его кубатура 750 кубических сантиметров.
and the displacement is 750 cc's.
Скорость порядка около 180-190 км.
The maximum speed, top speed is about 170 km per hour.
Мотоцикл 62 года выпуска,
This motorcycle was made in 1962.
500-кубовый двигатель.
The engine has the displacement,
Здесь уже двигатель
500
отличается от тех двигателей,
and
имеет
the
два
engine,
вала.
is quite different to what we have seen just now. Shafts in the head.
Oh.
In the head.
Ah.
Это как называется у нас? Принудительный шафт.
А? Он у нас
Double
нижний
camshaft engine.
Okay.
шафтный имеет, значит, это самое принудительное, да? Ты правильно выразился.
Как она называется, система? Да, как это называется?
So they got 54 horsepower out of 500 cc with this twin overhead cam engine.
На кольцевой мотоцикл для соревнований по шоссейно-кольцевым гонкам. 500-кубовый двигатель, 64 лошадиные силы, скорость 220 км в час.
This engine was done in 1982.
The
The engine has 500 cc's, water cooled, and the power, what was
64
the power 60 horsepower, and the top speed 220 kilometers per hour.
Ah.
Для шоссейных соревнований 500-кубовый тоже.
That is one of the samples of the motorcycle which were produced at our factory
Ну, это
for ring competitions, or competition in the ring.
не заводила.
Okay, we've got the lights going and everything on this beautiful machine.
52 год выпуска, имеет привод на колесо
The
коляски,
military motorcycle which was in production in 1952,
понижающие передачи,
and the motorcycle has
мультипликатор коробки.
driven sidecar, two-wheel drive, yeah,
Ah.
and has special gear case.
Okay, and this is also the side valve engine.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Основательно может просматривать, если
So this is more similar to the version that ended up in China.
Sorry, I've never seen Chinese motorcycles, so I have no good base for comparison.
Yes.
Год выпуска, тоже имеет привод на колесо коляски, очень хороший имеет двигатель,
This one has the main Euro 4. It is also a sidecar driven motorcycle. Two-wheel drive.
Mhm.
гидравлические тормоза,
Very good language, hydraulic brakes.
тормоза с гидравлическим приводом.
Did this go in production?
Двигатель 750, 46 лошадиных сил. А?
The engine has 45 horsepower.
Единичные экземпляры были.
Да, были некоторые
This
детали.
is
Более простейшая модель.
a prototype.
Да. Он имеет электростартер.
Prototype.
Uh-huh.
The
Electrostart.
difference also is it has electric starter.
Electric starter.
Электрозапуск, да.
Gee, that takes all the fun out of it. Here's the police version, and tell us a little bit more about it.
Специальный лак, веселее.
There's no very close sandwich due to the fact it's covered in two different colors.
And what year is this particular one?
It's traffic police motorcycle.
Yes,
Какого это года мотоцикл? Мотоцикл это 67-го года.
67.
67. Okay.
Сейчас выпускаем.
Да, в общем-то, он был впервые сделан в 60.
And this is the same police motorcycle with the sidecar. And what year is this one?
тоже 68-70 год.
67 to 70 in that area?
Он поэтому и
Okay.
стоит. Ну ладно.
Now we're in the room of foreign motorcycles, huh? And let me just pan a little bit, and then we'll come back and
Да, там Харлей Дэвидсон.
Hard license over there, that color.
aha.
Well, Bob Katzen, his nostalgic
This is my
Harley
nostalgia
Davidson.
and my 1948 Harley 45 cubic inch was basically the same machine with the 3-speed and what we call the suicide clutch, because you had to use your foot to get the clutch and then you might drop over. So this is definite nostalgia value. My motorcycle had the big twin seat. The civilian version had the double seat.
It is Army version.
Does it really only have 26 miles, or is there something going on here with this speedometer?
Он пошел только 26 километров или больше. No, more.
I think it has a few more miles than
Второй
26.
круг, это второй круг уже.
The second round.
Maybe the second time around, yeah. All right. Okay, go ahead and tell us the story about the year and the history. And
Расскажите нам историю своего мотоцикла. It's BMW R71 motorcycle, which was the grandfather of Euro motorcycles.
And the year of this one is
About 39.
39.
Таких мотоциклов было куплено 5.
And this is the side valve.
The country bought 5 motorcycles of this type in Sweden
Uh-huh.
before the World War II. And the motorcycles were disassembled to make drawings, just to have a look at the parts of the components of the motorcycle,
Uh-huh.
targeting to produce them.
And didn't the company later, or the country later, actually get the production drawings from BMW after the
Never.
war? Never? That's a story that I've read in our history, and that's not correct?
Practically the ideas were stolen.
And
It was a little lie.
and so the tooling never was acquired from the, because I read,
Never.
so that's false history that I get in a lot of American magazines. And not only that, it's false history that is currently being used in the marketing of the Chinese derivative of this.
The difference is that Chinese bought drawings and tooling.
From Russia.
From Russia, yes.
Yes, but you see in their advertising material, they say Russia acquired the tooling from the BMW factory.
Never.
Ah, well that's,
It was not in Russia.
okay. And so basically Russian engineers, if I might say, reverse engineered the German machine and produced this machine.
They used these motorcycles as a product.
They rather used this as a prototype, right? And initially, then a lot of the parts were interchangeable. Is that correct?
No,
Not even initially?
no.
Okay, that's another falsehood that I've been told then.
The Russian engineers modified the motorcycle totally.
And
It was just only a general idea of motorcycle.
general idea, so from the beginning, it was not interchangeable with BMW. Well, you've straightened out two fallacies that I've been told in my little motorcycle history. The R75, and what year is
Имеет
this?
приводное колесо коляски.
It has two-wheel drive.
Uh-huh.
Демультипликатор в коробке переменной передач.
It has
Ну,
one
это-
hour gear in the gear
Это,
case.
говорят, был мотоцикл изготовлен чисто для войны в Африке, потому что имеет
This motorcycle was in production especially for
низкую посадку.
Africa environment, for Africa war.
Африканский вариант.
Just an African version of the motorcycle.
У нас
One war motorcycle of this type, but the difference is that
Николай
one
зря туда
has
сел, там были много.
19 wheels.
Да.
19.
Тут индеец,
This one has 16.
араб залез,
16.
тоже в белом плаще, а ты
Okay.
в белой куртке. Он
Starting from the left then, they're champions of the Russian motorcycle racers from the past. And we're going to work our way down. And who do we have right here? Who's this?
This is Mr. Motov, who was a champion of Russia in 60th.
1960.
He
And here
was-
he is in 93.
Here is 93, yeah. He also took part in the European motocross championships. Mr. Motov was 22 years old then.
Uh-huh. And a good example of a copy of a Ural model. This is the beginning. Look. So we got our camera adjusted from input to output, and it works a lot better.
Well, going for the party now. There we go.
Okay.
Давайте продемонстрируем для телеобъектива.
Let's show.
Okay, a true Russian toast.
И выпьем до дна.
Drink to the bottom.
Bottom up.
Oh, no, wait a minute. This is Rizan the second.
Это вторая Рязань.
Нет. И звон в ушах прекратится.
And the ears stop ringing.
In your eyes.
Yeah, the high parties exchange their documents. Cheers.
Николаевич, лучше просто так отдать. А? Ну, я думаю, на часах зашли. Там сзади часы с...
We got a small gift.
Maybe also sign that time is money.
Yes.
And doesn't wafer.
Thank you very much.
Пускай.